first session, we have to conduct operation level English medium, no? So we have to only 3 months from today onward. We have to cover up the all things, no? So I have to get the idea about how do we actually. So we have 3 months now. So actually, my health condition is not well because I have to rest. Uh, I'm I am in getting not well, but I will try to get the maximum out of this session because in the previous session also I have cancelled because not health bad health condition. So now okay, I can handle the session. Okay, so you are the initial student, operation level English medium. This subject is the new to you, no, not like accounts, not like accounts. Uh, this is a new subject and new terms, new uh, way of learning, new way of everything is new. So because before I introduce the subject, I have to introduce myself. I'm Maul Amarasinghe. I'm currently working as the tax accountant in leading automobile company Sri Lanka, and I am graduate from the management of management faculty in the University of Sri Jawardhanapura, and I am the following CA finals exam. Uh, and I have more than 5 years experience in taxation. Okay, big four firms and the listed company Sri Lanka so far. So in my the current existing gathered knowledge of taxation, so I am deliver my tax lecturing more than 2 years now, more than 2 years now. So I am currently lecturing for taxation for CA, CMA and AAT, business level taxation for CMA managerial level. Okay, so introduction about me, about myself. So I would like to introduce about the subject also. No? So before introduce the subject, subject, uh, I have get the current tax system of Sri Lanka. Because before more to the subject, I would like to talk about the current tax system of Sri Lanka. No, so you already pay taxes for the IRD. IRD mean what? IRD means the Sri Lankan the tax collection place. Like that is the authorized tax collection the institute in Sri Lanka. Okay, so I will go to before start the session. I would like to actually go to the knowledge about the current tax. It means the Sri Lankan current tax system is handled by the IRD. It means Inland Revenue Department. That's the number one. Okay, you already know the current tax collection, current tax revenue in Sri Lanka. Normally, the one for a day, the approximate the tax revenue for Sri Lanka is 1 billion, 5 billion, 5 billion, 5 billion for a day, 5 billion for a day. Okay, 5 billion for a day. Okay, but under this COVID situation, that will be reduction from 1 billion. So 4 billion is the current tax revenue for a day. So you can imagine what are the significant tax collection and significant tax system in Sri Lanka. You can understand the current tax Sri Lankan current tax system is very complex. Okay, that is number two, because that all tax collection, tax administration, tax everything is depend on the act. Okay, act. That means ERD Act. It means panata. May I speak in Sinhala both English, or what is the way of pattern I have to process this session? Only English or Sinhala both? What is your name? Can you tell me about yourself?
I'm Soumini Ranasinghe.
Yeah,
I'm a graduate of Kathalawala Deepan University, Management on Technical Sciences.
yeah,
Mm, Nowadays, I'm looking for a job.
yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, so your background is accounting, no? The background is management accounting. You have following CMA. You have just completed foundation, and you have came to the that this level, operation level, then strategic level, then strategy, then apex level, then case study. No, that
Yes,
so okay. So the I have to get the about you how to relevant your taxation, but in your in your side in practically you don't touch any taxation part. No taxation in practically. Now this is a new thing you have learned. No.
yes,
Okay, so okay, I have to get idea about the taxation in first time to you in theoretical manner. Okay, so my way of learning, my learning pattern to you is I will provide the tutorials, presentations, and papers. When I doing in any chapter, I will give questions to cover up that chapter, and I will give presentation to summary of that chapter. But I am cover the syllabus through my chapters. I mean lesson number one chapter, lesson number two one chapter, three one chapter, four one chapter like that. Okay, and uh, so you can join you can rewatch that records again. That is the benefited way of learning. uh, and I will before there are 3 months now, so I have get the commitment to cover up syllabus plus papers. So I have I think you will help me to cover up those months. It means I have to get the extra because generally we usually do the 2 hour session for the end of the course. But in this case actually I am also troubled to how to cover those things in 2 hours. We have only actually 12 days now. So for 12 days I have nine tubes, okay. So I will start from today. I can cover one chapter today, second chapter next day, but how do I cover papers, those things? So I will get the extra session also for to cover those syllabus for cover the syllabus and plus papers. So keep in mind this is very easy subject. Okay, this is very easy subject. It's very easy subject. Okay, that is the emphasis at first, because most of students are struggle with this paper because they are uh, imitate the one person decision. One per the certain person said the taxation very hard. I'm not like that paper, but then most of people are not like to this paper. But when you learn in this paper, when you learning how to grab to the knowledge, then depend on the easy or hard of the paper, because you can this is online, you can read and again watch and again those records, no issue. Otherwise you are trouble, because in physical exam, physical classes, you have to follow at one time, no, we have to record session otherwise. Okay, no any talking. I will go to my the topic. My first topic, introduction to taxation. Okay, I will use I will give the small description about the Sri Lankan tax system. There are various of taxes. Various of taxes: income taxes, value-added taxes. When you go to the the supermarket, you will buy milk powder, but that milk powder that does not mention what is the tax rate, what is the invoice value. Only mention the invoice value, but don't, that is including VAT, but that is not mentioned separately. This is the invoice value, this is the VAT, but you will pay VAT. You will pay VAT. You don't know. You will pay VAT for everything, for your costumes, for your books, for your like rings, everything. You will pay that, but they don't mention that in your receipt. That's the way of collection of taxation. That is called indirect tax. You don't know how to collect tax, but you already pay tax, but you don't know. Okay, that's the way of collection of taxation. There's a one way, indirect tax. You don't know, but you have paid. You don't know. But in this examination, we will learn both one, direct, indirect. Direct, indirect, I mean that is the theoretical way to introduce the taxation. For your practical, වගේ practical මේ life එකේදී ඔයා ගෙවනවා මොකක් හරි ගෙවනවා බාණ්ඩයකට මෙච්චරක් ගෙවනවා, but you don't know you have paid that, but you have paid that. That's the way of collection of one way of collection of taxes. But the other way, you have paid your income, you have paid your income. Keep in mind, in Sri Lankan current tax system, if your monthly salary is more than 250,000, in your monthly salary is more than 250,000, you will be liable for taxation. Or මාසික ආදායම් 2,50,000ට වැඩි නම් you have pay taxes. You should have paid you should have paid tax. That is the law. That's the law. Law කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? What is the law? Law is act. පනත. What is the act? The act is, there are two acts. 2017 අංක 24 දරන the 24th of 2017 Act, IRD Act, Inland Revenue Act, that is amended in this May, this May, not May, this March, that is called 10th of 2021 Act, IRD. There are two acts, not one act is original, other one is amended one. කියන්නේ ලංකාවේ බදු 50 සංශෝධනය වෙනවානේ. මේ සංශෝධනය වෙනකොට ඔයාගේ ඔරිජිනල් ඇක්ට් එකට අර පරණ අලුත් සංශෝධන ඇක්ට් එකත් එකතු වෙනවා. හරිද? Really sorry, I will cough some time because you know because some these days very hard, so I'm also in quarantine, but I'm now recovering, not a full recovery, but I can manage. So in that case, some of disturbing will happen throughout the session, but sorry for that, but I will give maximum benefit to the students. Okay, so I will now move to my tutors. Okay, so I will introduce about myself. I will introduce about little bit about the taxation, but I will go through rest of with the tut. Okay, so otherwise we have not time now. We will not time, so I will be go with tut. Did you get the tut? I have uploaded.
I didn't search, sir.
Okay. So time being, you can go through the session, this video. Normally, I will upload the tuts, presentations, questions, and additional notes to the LMS. You can download. Okay, that is the way of doing LMS Lanka Academy LMS. You can I will upload. This is the first tut you will get. Introduction of Taxation, Chapter 1, CMA operation level. So this is the tute. This is the first tute you have to follow. So in first tute, you are in new, no? You are new student for taxation. So I have to go through not fast, not slow, but I have to get the medium way. I have to cover up this session. Okay, I will give the important things will be tested in your examination. Okay, what is the කියන්නේ මේ එක්සෑම් එකේදී මේ ටියුට් එකෙන් අහන්න ඕන ප්‍රශ්න ටිකක් තියෙනවා හැමදාම අහනවා. ඒ ටික අහනවා. ඒ ටික නවත්තන්න හැමදාම අහනවා. So I will have to pop up this one. You don't want to study those full things. Full you don't want to understand. You have to only study the practical subject. You don't want to memorize. Don't to memorize those things. This is very dangerous and don't. It is the fact of fed up with this subject. So this subject is way of learning is you have to go through the lecture what I have done so far. Then you have to I will highlight the important points in this tute in red in highlight. Then you can read those only. Otherwise don't read, because I will give 9 tutes. You don't want to read memorize all 9 tutes. But in examination, the way of the examiner will ask the question. My job is I have to train you for that, not others. Okay, I have trained you how do you write the correct question for this subject, taxation. Okay, so the way of learning is I will provide the tube and highlight the main point. I will give the important point and I will highlight those things. You can read those only, because the tube has several things. It mean like descriptionary tube, that is a very detailed tube. So you don't want to study all things, but I will give the important things to highlight. Okay, so I will start now because we have the limited times to cover the syllabus. Okay, I have to cover the papers, all things. So I have to cover 9 tubes within a small period of time and start the papers. Okay, but it's the way of I am cover the syllabus. I mean full course. It means I have covered the syllabus and I will give the papers. Okay, papers. So today I will start that first session. Okay, understood. I think you have understood what is the way of cover up those things. Okay,
Yes,
tax is
yes.
very easy. Okay, very easy. Don't believe the others' decisions and keep trust on the lecturer. This is very easy subject. You can pass. Okay, this the advanced level come up with this next level, managerial level taxation. For the difference between that managerial level and operational level, the operational level you will learn the employment. It means තමන්ගේ පුද්ගලික ආදායම, පුද්ගලයෙක්ගේ ආදායම. You have to calculate this level. In managerial level, you have to calculate in company. Like you know, no, in accounting you already learned what is the company, what is the person. No, ඒ කියන්නේ company පුද්ගලයෙක්ගෙන් වෙන්නු නීතිමය පුද්ගලයෙක්ගෙන් වෙන්නු නීතිමය කම්පැනියක් සහ පුද්ගලයෙක් කියන දෙන්නේ. ඒතර පුද්ගලයෙක්ගෙන් ටැක්ස් කරන අයයි කම්පැනි ටැක්ස් කරන එක කියන්නේ දෙකක්. So we have to get the separate idea about that one. The person mean individual. පුද්ගලයා මම ඔයා but company is different. That is the not human, but that is artificial person. So that is not human, but that is artificial person. But artificial person has a separate tax calculation. For the person has for us, for human, for people, individual has a separate one. Okay, that is the different. But in this level, this level, operation level, you have to follow the person. person. But when you go through the past papers, you have little bit company also, not harder, not detail, not big one like a managerial level, operation level. You have go thorough with the individual taxation, but you have to little bit you have to learn about the company taxation as well. Okay, okay. So I think will be active participation for the lecture. For I think some students will be join with the future sessions. Uh, the main challenge is cover up those things within 3 months. That is a very challengeable. Actually, I haven't 3 months, no, August, then September, October, only two and a half day, 2.5 2 days. So very hard. So I have to cover up those things. Anyway, so I will get the extra sessions, extra hours from Saturday also. Are you free in Saturday?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I will get the extra hours from Saturday also. Otherwise, unable to uh, cover the syllabus. So otherwise, you also trouble to sit for the examination. No? Very challenge for the lecture also. Okay. So my duties, I have to cover this chapter today because my plan is to cover up at least one tube for a day. Then this is for up to the fourth tube. Up to the fourth tube, very hard. Very hard mean that very big tubes, very big tubes. You have to learn a lot of things. But up from five onward, there are small things. Up to the fourth tube, you have to actually participate, and you have to uh, uh, learn, practice and practice. Okay. So this is the way of plan. I will start. Okay. So I will read out the tune. I will read out the tune 10. Uh, Underline the very important points, and you have to highlight. And you can read only that one. Don't read other things. You can read like in this session. You can understand what do I learned after the lecture. මම මේ lecture ඉවරලා වා පාට කරගත්තට පස්සේ වා ඊට විතර පාඩම් කරගන්න ඇති. හරිද? මොකද those are will be tested in examination because in past papers I will do lot of times, and I have this is they have asked the same thing, same thing. Okay, so I will read and describe you how to the I will read the tune and give the explanation. Okay. Okay, the what is taxation? The tax is the compulsory payment. You can highlight compulsory payment. Okay, but don't memorize. So highlight compulsory. කියන්නේ එක අනිවාර්ය ගෙවීමක් ඒක. Tax is compulsory payment. Contribution made by the citizen of country to the government for benefit of the country. The government collect the revenue in form of taxes, charges, levies, fines. ඒ කියන්නේ government contribution made by citizen for country to government for benefit for the country. ඒ කියන්නේ සරලව කියනවා නම් for the taxation main one is the collect the revenue for government expenditure. That is the objective of the taxation. Collect the revenue for government expenditure. රජයේ වියදම් සඳහා අවශ්‍ය කරන ආදායම් එක්රැස් කිරීම තමයි taxation කියලා කියන්නේ. බදු කරන එක කියන්නේ ඒක තමයි. තේරුණාද? සරලව. Okay. ලංකාවේ බදුකරණය සංකීර්ණ කියලා කියන්නත් බෑ, සංකීර්ණ කරලා තියෙන්නේ. සංකීර්ණ නැහැ බේස් එක ගත්තොත්. බේස්මන්ට් එකෙන් ගත්තොත් සංකීර්ණ නැහැ. හැබැයි සංකීර්ණ කරගෙන තියෙන්නේ. හරිද? සරලව කියනවා නම් ලංකාවේ බදුකරණය. In Sri Lanka, the taxation, the knowledge tax. If you learn taxation, the basement is the IRD Act. පනත. පනත විශේෂයි. There's 17 අංක 23 දරන පනත සහ 2021 අංක 10 දරන පනත. 10th of 2021 and 24th of 2017 Act, two acts. The second is Amendment Act, other one is Original Act. Okay, I haven't the Original Act now so far because I am in home now. In my office, that is one. Anyway, understand that Sri Lankan taxation is governed by the IRD Act, Inland Revenue Act, IRD Act. You can write down that one. Okay, government collect the revenue in form of taxes, charges, levies, fines. No, මම උදාහරණයක් ගත්තොත් එහෙම අපි හිතමු වාගේ ගෙදර ටෙලිෆෝන් බිල ගත්තොත් එහෙම there is a levy, no, the telecommunication levy, but not VAT. Electricity not VAT. ඒ කියන්නේ විදුලියට VAT ගෙවන්නේ නැහැ ලංකාවේ. විදුලියට ලංකාවේ VAT ගෙවන්නේ නැහැ. But there is a levy, telecommunication levy, like various type of levies there. Fines, dandana. If you didn't pay the VAT payment in company in due date, you have to pay penalties like that, charges, like government collect the revenue like fines, dandana, like charges, taxes, like that. In taxation, taxes are imposed on two forms of direct taxes and indirect taxes. Rejubadu sa Vakrabadu. May I speak in Sinhala? Are you in trouble? Or if I speak in English as well? Only tell me your opinion. Now, then
No,
I
sir.
can.
Both is okay.
Both
Both
is okay.
language.
Both are okay, no? Okay, okay. Then okay. Then because I will usually ask from the students all because to benefit to students because most of members personally I'm in contact with the students, the trouble is the foundation and the operation level is doing in Sinhala, and suddenly come to the manager level they will follow the English. They have get confused and the separate story. So that's why I asked from students for this is English one, English courses, no. But then okay, choose this very logical because when you learn this in taxation in this level in English, you can very easy to pass the manager level also. But in you learned in this in Sinhala, that is very hard to go through. It is very hard to get the idea about managerial level taxation because same thing, but learning is different. No, the this very subjective terms included in this subject. But in when you learn in English, that's very easy. Okay, in taxation, the taxes හරිද? රජු බදු සහ වක්‍ර බදු. හරිද? රජු බදු සහ වක්‍ර බදු. උදාහරණයක් ලියා ගන්න. රජු බදු වලට උදාහරණයක් තමයි ආදායම් බදු. රජු බදු වලට උදාහරණයක් for direct taxes for example is the income tax. For indirect tax, for example is VAT, value added tax. Okay, we will go smoothly, then you can understand. Direct tax is levied directly on personal or corporate income. Personal කියන්නේ පුද්ගලයෙක්, corporate mean company, directly charge their income, business income. We will learn what is the business income. For the time being, keep in mind, for direct taxes mean charges on personal and corporate income. But indirect taxes charge on price of good or services. That is personal or corporate, but indirect taxes are charged on good and services. බාණ්ඩ හා සේවා මත තමයි වක්‍ර බදු අය කරන්නේ. Indirect taxes, direct, indirect. Okay, if you go to the supermarket, milk powder, today the 400 gram milk powder that is charged 365, but that mention only 365. but does not mention taxes, but believe that include taxes also. That also every household item include VAT, but that one is inclusive price. They have put the tax. They have didn't mention separate invoice value, separate tax, that part. That's the way of collection of indirect tax. That is the main characteristic of the indirect taxes. Okay, so this is very important in your examination also. Ask this question. දැන් මම කලින් කිව්ව ටික එච්චර ලොකුවට නෙමෙයි. කලින් ඡේදේ ඔය ඔක්කොම ටික මම කිව්වදී අමතක කරන්න. For exam purpose, you have to learn the objective of the taxation is the collection of revenue for the spend the government expenditure. That is the objective of the taxation. That's the you have to learn so far. Others forget only one thing: the collect the revenue for spend government revenue, government expenditure. The only thing you have to learn now. And second point, function and principle of taxation. Very important because the examination will ask. Usually ask this question. Function of taxation mainly separated into two, mainly two. Primary function, but economic function and social function. You have to learn these two, economic and social function. I will get lecture notes, then you can understand. Okay, so you didn't get the tune, no? Okay. Uh, so primary function of taxation, the raising fund for public expenditure is the primary function of tax. මම දැන් කලින් වඩ කිව්වා. The primary function කියන්නේ objective of the taxation. Raising funds for public expenditure. මම එක තමයි කිව්වේ raising revenue, earning collection of revenue for government expenditure, public expenditure. Okay, this is the main thing. කලින් ඔක්කොම ටික මතක කරලා මේක මුලින්ම raising funds for public expenditure. This is the number one. Number two, the two functions: economic function, social function. Okay, economic function and social function. Okay, public expenditure in Sri Lanka, there are a number of services provided by the state at free of charge, subsidized rates for දන්නවනේ. ඒ කියන්නේ සෞඛ්‍ය සහ අධ්‍යාපනය කියන්නේ ලංකාවේ free නේ. ඒකට tax ඒවා පවත්වාගෙන යන්න ප්‍රධාන වශයෙන් taxes බදු අවශ්‍ය වෙනවා. හරිද? Maintenance of road network, supply of electricity, those are you can read. Okay, it should not be necessarily mentioned that the state is required to incur expenditures such as salaries, wages, investment, capital assets in providing such services to its citizens. The state is required to collect funds to finance such public expenditure. Thus, raising funds for public expenditure is primary function of the taxation. Okay, to that you have to learn only two things. අනිත් ඔක්කොම මතක කරන්න. Raising funds for public expenditure is the primary function. හරිද? තව මතකගන්න there are two functions: economic function and social function. Now we learn what is the economic and social. So this is state the primary function of the taxation. Question: answer. What is the answer? Raising funds for public expenditure is the primary function of taxation. Understood? Up to there are any questions? No. Okay. So if you you will get the questions from next chapters, chapter 2 and 3, 4, because that is the big, not hard. අමාරු නෑ මේ subject එක. අර පොඩ්ඩක් තියෙනවා අර ඉගෙන ගන්න ගොඩක් දේවල් තියෙනවා. ඔය level එකට you have to learn to pass the examination. So when you come to the fourth chapter, you will learn half of the cost. Then in your operation level, you have the question is come, the part 50% is corporate business law, and this is the business taxation. No? 50 50 no, you have to score from 25 from 50, so you have to get that marks. No, so yes, so that one, so you have to get the maximum benefit from this sessions. Okay, first, not it means this 2 4 chapter, first 4 chapters is very important, because we cover all things from 50%. It means 25% of the 25 out of 50. Okay, social and economic function of taxation. Social and economic function of taxation are as follows. Economic, I will give summary, but I will some places I will give detail. Okay, in Tut I will give summary, but some points I will give detail. Economic function of taxation, very important, very important economic function. Arthika arumunu monawada taxation එක. ආර්ථික අරමුණු, why we do tax for economic purpose. ආර්ථිකයේ මේ වශයෙන් බලපාන්නේ කොහොමද? බදු. Set local and foreign investment direction. Set local and foreign investment directions. Set local and foreign investment directions. So there's example, the port city development project. The port city, what? The port city is one, there is a separate law, separate place in the harbor. No. So in that case, what happened? The foreign currency is come to the Sri Lanka. No, foreign currency flow to come to Sri Lanka. How? There are various types. All the employees are paid in dollars. Separate laws, separate process. No, so in that case, the government hope to collect the foreign currency from other countries. No, so in that case, you can heard there are a lot of tax policies there. A lot of tax policies, not that is not come under Sri Lankan tax policy. There are specific tax policies. It means foreign currency, the attraction of foreign currency to Sri Lanka, they have separate tax policies. So in that case, you can understand the set local and foreign investment direction. No? Port city, to attract the foreign currency, they have separate tax policies. You can write down the example, the port city development. ඒකට ආයෝජන මෙව්වා මේ ආයෝජන මේ දිශාවන් වෙනස් කරන්න පුළුවන් tax වලට. Okay, then protect local industry from foreign competition. So in those days, the banned importation of vehicles. Example, the current situation in Sri Lanka, banned the vehicles importation. So what happened? So currently some of Sri Lankan factories are manufacturing cars. No, manufacturing cars, not actually not manufacturing cars. They assemble cars. No, they have Vega innovation. They have introduced electric 3-wheel like that. In Sri Lanka, within Sri Lanka, there are some of innovation is come up with tax policies. But what happened if Sri Lankan government banned the vehicle importation for 10 years? What happened? So just people think manufacturing the vehicle in Sri Lanka, no? I think lot of factories will be commence if those policies will be started. But I practically does not will be happen in Sri Lanka. That is a separate story. But imagine if government suddenly say vehicle importation banned for 10 years. So what happened? No vehicles. Now, assume now there is what happened to the price of 3-wheel, what happened to Land Cruiser Prado, what happened to the Mitsubishi Outland, the various type of vehicle categories. They are price more than that. Actually, very high. Okay. So that what happened that one? So all are increased. All taxes are increased now. So protect the local industries from foreign competition. That is the second economic function. So this is a very important in examination. In examination, what we have to you have your exam include the MCQ also. Then you will get the MCQ. What is the economic function from below factors? You will give the four choices. So you have to underline the correct one. So you have to memorize this one. Okay, set local and foreign investment directions and protect local industries from foreign competition. Okay, very. This is the separate topic. Actually, a very good decision to take the CMA as a professional course. Okay, because this CMA course very important for US for now, because CMA is the national management account qualification. No? So in that case, actually a lot of subject are there. I have go through that one. I have seen that taxes they have managerial level. They have cover up the huge, actually lot of things, lot of cover. But examination they will ask the same pattern, same questions, a separate story. But examination also okay. Examination also this standard level. Very broader concept, broader subject categories there. Very good decision to select the CMA. Very good, because I personally also I will recommend to do the CMA for students, because uh, it is very good professional qualification for students. Okay, this you have to learn economic factors first. Economic function, two functions, two function. Don't you can read the what do I do given in the other things, but you can read out the main thing. What set local foreign investment direction, protect local industry from foreign competition. That's the two. Okay, that's the two you have to read. I will put up this place. Okay. So I think you see my tube, no? Uh, this is the two economic functions. Okay. Then the social function. There are three functions. Social functions. Keep in mind there are three. Discourage activities which are undesirable by the society. Encourage the activities which are desirable by society. Reduce the income disparity between rich and poor. What is that? Discourage activities which are undesirable by society. Undesirable by society. Social function. There are three functions. There are three social functions. Keep in mind. You have to learn these three only. Others, I will give the examples for that. Then you can understand the main thing. Okay. So what is the you can see my tute also, but they didn't upload it, no. So the time being I will go to the Excel sheet, so then you can one. So economic function and social function. The economic function, there are two functions you have learned. I will give the examples. This one, social function. Social function discourage activities which are undesirable by society. Example, what is the example? The example is, keep in mind, currently in Sri Lanka, for liquor and tobacco, for betting and gambling, for those businesses, the company, for the government, the rate is higher than the standard rate. For company, the standard rate is 24. ලියාගන්න නෝට් එකක් තියෙනවා ලියන්න. ලංකාවේ දැන් අලුත් දේවල් මම සැරෙස්සේ මම කියනවා පළමු ගණනකොට So you can write down the then you can understand current Sri Lankan tax system. Currently in Sri Lanka, the company's tax rate is 24. But in liquor, tobacco, betting, gambling, the specific businesses, the government tax rate is 40. 40. 24ක් නෙමෙයි 40. 16ක් වැඩියෙන් අය කරනවා. 16ක් වැඩියෙන් ටැක්ස් කරනවා. ඒ ටැක්ස් කරන්නේ ඒ වගේ දේවල් මිනිමයිස් කරනවා. ඒ වගේ දේවල් අඩු කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒ වගේ දේවල් අධෛර්යමත් කරන්න ඕනේ. discourage කරන්න ඕනේ. discourage activities. betting and gambling. Casino places. And betting and gambling, like those places, and the liquor and tobacco, those should be discouraged. So the government is pay given higher tax rate for that, 40%. උදාහරණ ලියා ගන්න ඉස්සරහෙන් liquor and tobacco and betting and gambling, the government charge 40 40 සිට 40ක් tax rate. Encourage activities which are desirable by society. සමාජය අනුමතයයි පිළිගන්න දේවල් දිරිමත් කරන්න ඕන. for what මොනවද ඒ වගේ දේවල්? උදාහරණයක් මොනවද? ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා මේ research and development කියන්නේ පර්යේෂණ සංවර්ධන කටයුතු. අපි හිතමු ලංකාවේ මොකක් හරි දෙයක් අලුතෙන් නිෂ්පාදනය කරන්න මොකක් හරි පර්යේෂණයක් හා සංවර්ධනය විතර දරනවනම් ඒ වගේ ඒවා අපිට තව පාරක් අඩු කරගන්න පුළුවන්. මම කියන දේවල් තේරෙන්නේ නැතුව ඇති. කොහොමද දන්නවා ඉන්කම් ස්ටේට්මන්ට් එකේ තියෙනවනේ. you have learned accounting, no you have learned accounting, no? Yeah, you learn, no? You learn the P&L, profit and loss account, income statement, no? That income statement, P&L, we call P&L income statement. In income statement include income and expenses. In expenses you can get the research and development expenses, R&D expenses. You can imagine 50,000. But imagine you can deduct that R&D cost in double. It means 50,000. You can deduct another 50,000 for tax purpose. Then your tax payment is lower, no? You can research and development දිරිමත් කරනවා. research and development දිරිමත් කරනවා. research and development දිරිමත් කරන්න ඔයාලට research and development තව පාරක් අඩු කරන්න ඔයාලට දෙනවා දේශීය ආයතන දෙපාර්තමේන්තුව. ඒක අපි ඉගෙන ගන්න ඉස්සරහට මම දැනට උදාහරණයක් කිව්වේ. උදාහරණයක් කිව්වේ ඔයාලට මේ කොහොමද මේ encourage වෙන්නේ කියලා. encourage R&D encourage කරන්න දේශීය ආයතන දෙපාර්තමේන්තුව what happened? මොකද කරන්නේ? Okay, this is example. For you can double deduct the R&D expenses from your P&L for tax purpose. That's example for encourage activities which are desirable by society. Okay, and reduce income disparity between rich and poor. What happened? We learn those things in day by day. In individual taxation, පුද්ගලයෙක්ගේ ආදායම් ගණනය කරනකොට individual taxation, I'm showing the Excel sheet now. In individual person taxation, okay, person taxation, you can calculate when you get the tax liability calculate under progressive tax rates. අනුක්‍රමික බදු අනුපාතයෙන් තමයි tax rate add කරන්නේ. හරි පරණ tax rate මම කියන්නේ මම අලුත් ඒවා කියන්නේ නැත්නම් මට මාරු වෙන නිසා 6 12 18 first 3 million study, or you can learn those things in the future. 3 million. This is the example for social function. මොකට කිව්වනේ currently Sri Lankan tax system, a person who earn 250,000 for 250,000 for monthly, it means 3 million for annually. 3 million for annually. So that person have to pay tax 180,000. Okay, understood what I say? Understood?
Yes, sir. I understood.
ඒ කියන්නේ මෙහෙමයි. ලංකාවේ පුද්ගලයෙක්ගේ මාසික ආදායම 2,50,000ට වඩා වැඩි නම් ටැක්ස් ගෙවන්න ඕනේ. 2,50,000ව 12ක් වා ගුණ කරොත් 2,50,000 12න් වැඩි කරොත් ඔයාලට එනවා 3 මිලියන්. ඒ කියන්නේ පුද්ගලයෙක් 3 මිලියන් earn කරනවා කියන්නේ එයා 6ක් ටැක්ස් ගෙවන්න ඕනේ. 6ක් ටැක්ස් ගෙවන්න ඕනේ කියන්නේ එයා 1,80,000ක් ගෙවන්න ඕනේ. එයා 6 මිලියන් නම් කරොත් ඊට පස්සේ එයා යනවා සෙකන්ඩ් ස්ලැබ් එකට. 12ක් ගෙවන්න ඕනේ. third degree ගත්තොත් එහෙම he had to pay 18%. ඔයාලට තේරෙනවා ඇති එයාගේ ආදායම වැඩි වෙන්න he had to pay more taxes. His income is lower, mean ඔයාගේ ඉන්කම් එක මාසික ආදායම 2,50,000ට වඩා අඩුයි නම් ඔයා ටැක්ස් ගෙවන්න ඕනේ. ඒක වෙනම ස්ටෝරි එකක්. හරිද? 2,50,000ට වඩා 2,50,000 කොහොමද මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ? ප්‍රැක්ටිකලි 2,50,000ක් නම් කෙලින්ම බැංකුව බලනවා 2,50,000 ඉන්කම් එකක් එනවා නම් මාසික වාට බැංකුව බලනවා වගේ තැන්පතු. ෆික්ස්ඩ් ඩිපොසිට් බලනවා. වාට කෙලින්ම ඊට බැංකුව දේශීය ආදායම් දේශීය ආදායම් දෙපාර්තමේන්තුව සම්බන්ධ වෙලා මේ පුද්ගලයා 2,50,000 ඉන්කම් එක ගන්න මෙයා ටැක්ස් ගෙවන්නේ නැද්ද කියලා දේශීය ආදායම් දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවෙන් අහනවා. ඒතකොට තමයි දේශීය ආදායම් දෙපාර්තමේන්තුව ක්ලික් වෙන්නේ මෙයා ටැක්ස් ගෙවන්නේ නැහැ කියලා. ඔහොම තමයි ඉතින් නිකන් ටැක්ස් ඉවේෂන් කියලා. බදු පැහැර හැරීම බලෙන් පැහැර හැරෙනවනේ බදු. ඒවා ඉතින් ඒ කට්ටිය අර වගේ අල්ල ගන්නවා. බැංකු දේශීය ආදායම් දෙපාර්තමේන්තුව හැමදේකම සම්බන්ධයි. ඒක ලින්ක් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. බදු පැහැර හැරෙන කට්ටිය අල්ලගන්න ක්‍රමයක්. බැංකුව තමයි ප්‍රධාන තැන. බැංකුව තමයි අල්ලන්නේ ගොඩක් ඒවා. ඒකනේ දැන් ගොඩක් කට්ටිය බැංකුව තැන්පතු දානකොට මේ වැඩිපුර දාන්න නැත්තේ හැමතැනම දාන්නේ ඒක ලක්ෂ 6ක් දාලා ඊළඟ ලක්ෂ 6 තවත් තැනක දානවා. තවත් තැනක දානවා. හැමතැනම දානවා. ඒකෙන් පුළුවන් අපිට ටැක්ස් එක අහු වෙන්නේ නැති වෙන්න විශේෂ දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවට අහු වෙන්නේ නැති වෙන්න මම මේ කියන්න දුන්න ඕනේ දැන් නෙවෙයි ප්‍රැක්ටිකලි මිනිස්සු කරන්නේ ඒකයි. ලක්ෂ 6ක් ඒ කියන්නේ හැමතැනම දානවා. අහු වෙන්නේ නැති වෙන්න. That is the practical situation of Sri Lanka. But generally, in this one, the reduced income disparity ආදායම්පත් විෂමතාවය දුප්පත් පොසත් වෙන්න උදාහරණයක් තමයි අඩු ආදායම් ලාභිකයින් 6%ක බදු අනුපාතයක් ඇතේද වැඩිම ටැක්ස් වැඩිම ආදායම් ලබන කට්ටියකින් 18%ක ටැක්ස් කියන්නේ වැඩි ටැක්ස් එක. කියන්නේ තමන්ගේ ආදායම් වැඩි වෙන්න ගෙවන්න බදු අනුපාතය වැඩි. එතකොට reduce the income disparity. ආදායම් බදු ආදායම විවිධයන් විෂමතාවය අඩු කරන්න උදාහරණයක් තමයි. First 3 million 6%, second 3 million 12%, third 3 million 18%. Like that you have to pay taxes. හරිද? you have to pay taxes like this. ඒක බලන්න ඔය දැන් මුල් ස්ලැබ් එකේ වාගේ වරන 1,80,000යි. හැබැයි දෙවෙනි ස්ලැබ් එකේ වාට ගෙවන 3,60,000. තුන්වෙනි ස්ලැබ් එකේ you have to pay 540,000 like that. වැඩි වෙන ආදායම් මත වැඩි වෙන බද්දම් ලොකු බද්දම් ගෙවන්න ඕනේ. It means reduce the income disparity between rich and poor. Understood? I have given 3 examples for 3 functions, three scenario for social functions. Okay, so economic function and social function is okay. I have given examples and I have give summary. You have to read and memorize only these 5 points only. Okay, and other than that you have to keep in mind Sri Lankan the primary function of taxation. What is the primary function? Raising funds for public expenditure. Raising funds for public expenditure plus this economic function and social function. That's okay. So I will go to the tune. Okay, you can read out what I given under those main points, but keep in mind you have to you get the simple idea. Only one word, and you can read out, can describe that. The time being, you can read what I given, what I emphasize. Okay, social function, economic function, and primary function. Only 3 points. Okay, identify economic and social function taxation. Answer. Economic function, set local and foreign investment direction, protect local industries from foreign operation and competition. Social function, discourage like that. We have write down what I say, no? Examiner also ask like that questions. Identify economic social function, or they will give MCQ. MCQ. You have given filling blanks also, no? So that one also they will can touch this one. Okay. Okay, so I will go to the second one, the principle of taxation. Principle of taxation. The principle of taxation. The designing and implementation of tax system is based on number of principles. The principle of taxation. Principles on which the state should be guided by designing, implementing tax system are considered as a principle of taxation. Principle of taxation include equity. So this is very important. this is the uh, the Madhukarne Mool Dharma. You have to learn those things. I will given the separate things. This were equity, and then class certainty, convenience, voluntary compliance, economy, progressivity, efficiency, advocacy, broad-based simplicity, like that. I have given that principle of taxation, but you can memorize only three to four. Three to four. You can read progressivity, efficiency, advocacy, broad-based, like that. Okay, but you can get the idea behind both. I have given the I have given the that definition also. What is this saying, that concept. We will go one by one. Then principle of taxation. Designing and implementation of tax system is based on number of principles. The principle of taxation. Principles on which the state should be guided by designing, implementing a tax system considered as a principle of taxation. Principle of taxation include equity. Equity කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? සමානාත්මතාවය. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? මේ වචනේම තියෙන අදහස සමානාත්මතාවය. මම මේවා පොඩ්ඩක් ඉක්මනින් යනවා, මොකද මේවට පාඩම් කරගන්නත් පුළුවන්. ඔයාට අවශ්‍ය concept එක දෙන්න දේවල් තියෙනවා ඉස්සරහට. හරිද? දැන් පුද්ගලයෙක්ගේ බදුවකින් ගන්න කරන්න ඕනේ කොහොමද කියන එක ඔයාට උගන්වන්න ඕනේ මේ කොහොම හරි මේ මාස දෙකමාර ඇතුළත. ඒ නිසා පොඩ්ඩක් මම ඉක්මනින් යනවා. ඉක්විටි කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? සමානාත්මතාවයනේ. Equity means සමානාත්මතාවය. So that tax burden should be equal among the persons in similar economic circumstances. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකද්ද මේ කියන්නේ? බදු බර පුද්ගලයන්ට සමානව යන්න ඕනේ. ඒ කියන්නේ බඩි ආදායම ලබන පුද්ගලයන් වැඩි බදු ගෙවනවා, අඩු ආදායම ලාභින් බදු ගෙවන්නේ නැහැ. කියන්නේ ලක්ෂ 50කට වඩා අඩු වෙනන් ගෙවන්නේ නැහැනේ. 250කට වැඩි නම් තමයි ගෙවන්නේ. 250කට වඩා අඩුවයි ගෙවන්නේ. ලංකාවේ බොහෝ පිරිසක් ඉන්නේ 250කට වඩා අඩුවෙන් ඉන්න කට්ටිය තමයි. හරිද? Tax burden should be equal among persons in similar economic circumstances. As Adam Smith put it forward, the subjects of every state ought to contribute towards the support of government as nearly as possible in proportion to their prospective ability. කියන්නේ තමන්ට පුළු ඇති හැකි ආකාරයෙන් තමන් රජයට බදු ගෙවන්න කියලා තමයි කියන්නේ. Following are the total two equity principles. Benefit principle, ability to pay principle. ඒ කියන්නේ ප්‍රතිලාභ මූල ධර්මය සහ ගෙවීම හැකියාව මත මූල ධර්මය. හරිද? ඒ කියන්නේ මොකද්ද මේ? ප්‍රතිලාභ මූල ධර්මය කියන වඩා ගෙවීමට හැකි මූල ධර්ම තමයි වැදගත් වෙන්නේ. මොකද්ද ඒකේ තේරුම? Benefit principle arise from need that the greatest beneficiaries should make the greatest tax contribution. In this case, identification of the received benefit is complicated. Therefore, ability to pay principle form a better alternative for equity taxation. Accordingly, ability to pay principal can be categorized in two scenarios: horizontal and equity, vertical inequity. Horizontal equity implies that we give the same treatment to people in an identical situation. For example, if two people earn 1 million per month, they should pay same amount of tax. මොකද මේ කියන්නේ තිරසාධාරණත්වය සහ තිරසාධාරණ මම සිංහලෙනුත් කියන ඉංග්‍රීසියෙනුත් කියනවා. So understand purpose, but assume you earn 1 million, your friend also earn 1 million. Okay, so you have earned 1 million and you have paid separate tax. Your friend also earn 1 million, but that person has paid separate tax. What happened? Then there's a contradiction. If you earn 1 million, your friend also earn 1 million, so both persons should have to pay the same amount to government, no? But assume your earning and your friend earning also same, but that you have paid 500 to the government, but your friend pay only 100,000 to government. So what happened? You have paid more than 400 to the government. So that is inequity, no? Inequity, not equity. සමානාත්මතාවයක් නැහැ. So that income tax say in taxation say you have to pay only that the same amount for same income category. That is mean horizontal equity. Horizontal equity that means තිරසාධාරණත්වය. And then vertical equity, සිරසාධාරණ. What is vertical equity? People with higher income should pay more taxes.